right, good evening. Welcome back to Pre-Calculus. Here we have another exponential equation. This one has my favorite little piece to it. So this is a very probable kind of a problem that you're going to see. Um, so the first thing I'm going to do is like looking at this, you might be tempted to take a natural log because like, hey, we've got variables in the exponent. Not yet, because if you try to take a natural log here, what you're going to be tempted to do, all right, is take a natural log of both sides. Well, first off, you can't do that side because that thing's going to work. But a lot of people are tempted to distribute the natural log to all three of the terms, and that is a giant no-no. Don't ever do that. Okay, that's one of those things. I used to have a teacher that he thought you did something he thought was ridiculous. He would take off more points than the problem was worth. And I have not done that yet, but when I see students distribute the logarithm to the different terms, I am sorely tempted to take off more points than the problem is worth. Don't do that. It's that big of a mistake. So what we have to do is we have to factor this thing first. So what I'm going to do is like, well, I can't factor it because my first term doesn't help. And I can't factor when the first term isn't a one. I'm terrible at it. So I'm going to use something called the AC method. We're going to multiply the first and the last term together. We got a 16, 4 times 4. And I need two things that multiply out to 16, but add up to 17. Negative 17, actually. How about negative 1 and negative 16? Let's try that. So we have the other thing we're going to do before I jump into this too far is you might be looking at this and like, the e's scare me. That's perfectly reasonable. So what I'm going to do is hide them. I'm going to say let a equal e to the x. Now, as a consequence of us choosing this, we're going to say what a squared is going to be, and that's going to be e to the x squared. Now, we have an exponent raised to an exponent. You multiply the two exponents together. That's going to be e to the 2x. So a squared is equal to 2x. Don't just rearrange things to be something convenient that you want. Like it's a consequence of the thing that we chose. So get in the habit of like, we're going to choose something and then we're going to work through that. We're going to work through what we have to as a consequence of what we chose, not just sub everything out to make something to make it look convenient for us. Like that's not how this works. It's a consequence of what we've chosen. So we're going to say this is 4a squared minus 17a plus 4 equals 0. Now we can go back to trying to factor this. We've said that 4 times 4 is 16, negative 1 and negative 16 will add up to 17. Let's see if we can't do it that way. So we have 4a squared minus 16a minus a plus 4 equals 0. Now we have this in like a factoring by grouping kind of a situation. We're going to look at this as first pair, second pair, and see how it goes. So of the first pair, 4a seems to be a common thing. So let's go ahead and pull that out. We have 4a. What do we have left? Well, we pulled the 4 and we pulled an a, so we just have an a. Well, 4. So we're going to say that's going to be minus 4. The a came out front already. Minus 1, because I want to pull a minus 1 out of both of these terms. That's going to give me a positive a, but because I pulled the minus 1 out, we're going to have a minus 4. If I multiply this back in, I should get back what I have on the line above. Okay. Now, one of the things you're going to do is you're going to see if you can inspect this and say, well, are these the same? Like, yeah, they sure are. Now we can do factoring by grouping and move this out. So we have a minus 4, parentheses, 4a minus 1 equals 0. Now we could say either a minus 4 is equal to 0 or 4a minus 1 is equal to 0. So we could say a is equal to 4, or we have 4a is equal to 1, or a is equal to 1/4. What the heck was a? That was not the problem I was dealt. A is e to the x. So we can go all the way back to e to the x equals 4, or e to the x equals 1/4. Both of these are positive. We could take a logarithm. So now it's time to take the logarithm. So we're going to take natural log of both sides, natural log of both sides. So we're going to say natural log of e to the x, that's just x, equals, we took a natural log of both sides here, is equal to natural log of 4. Or we have x is equal to natural log of 1/4. Here's what you could do with this, just to be clever about it. 1/4 is equal to natural log of 4 raised to the negative 1. So we could say our answer would be cute by doing something like x equals natural log of 4, or x equals negative natural log of 4. Like, that's a cute answer, I think. So that's how you do a problem like that. That's kind of one of my favorite problems to ask people for this kind of exam. So if you're in my class, be prepared. You're going to see this kind of a thing. If you're not in my class, I'm sure that your teacher loves these just as much as I do. So again, you should be prepared for it. In any case, thank you very much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.